Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Tony of the Dead here, and in this video I'm going to be doing a bunch of reviews on some movies that I've watched over the last couple of weeks, so here we go. Also everybody, if you enjoy how I'm making these videos now and you want me to keep making them like this, leave a comment below letting me do so. Also let me know if you've seen any of these movies and what you thought about them. Also, give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to me. So let's go to the reviews. First movie I have is a movie called I Lived. It's from Accelerator Media, and what this is about, it's about this guy. His name is Josh Fosse. I don't know really how to pronounce that, but he's like a 20-some-year-old guy. He has no job. He's trying to review apps on YouTube, like for your phone, and trying to get famous on YouTube, so then that way he can make money through that. And so he's starting off real small, and he wants to be bigger. And he goes across, finds this one app called I Lived, and signs on, and you're supposed to like put in your goals, like what you want to do in life and what do you want to get out of the app. And he might want to talk to a girl at the bar, and it'll say, get her this drink, she likes this drink, and he'll buy it for her, and then they start talking, and they hit it off. But at first the app didn't seem to really work for him. Like he wanted like abs, like six-pack. And he followed it. He was supposed to videotape your progress, upload it to their website and everything. And then in the end he didn't have it. But then he decided to give it another chance, and that's where he came in with the bar, getting the girl a drink, ended up, making out with her and everything. So then he started paying attention to the app more. And then everything in his life starts going good as he's like really listening to this app. He's starting to get picked up by people. He's getting more subscribers and all that kind of stuff. And he thinks, well, you know what? I think this is probably I think I'm the one doing it. It's not the app. So then he terminates the agreement on the app, and then all of a sudden everything goes away. So he has to like try to get it back, and then when he reinstates his agreement with the app, it starts asking him to do like really bad things, like kidnap people and torture and all this kind of stuff. So like it went from like little things before, like helping people out, like him opening doors for people, to like kidnapping. So it really takes a real turn later on in the movie, but I thought this was actually really good. I liked this. The ending I didn't really care for. I thought it kind of like was a bland ending, I guess you could say. But it was actually really cool. It's made from the same director that did Maniac, the remake of Maniac. And you could tell because in his background there's a poster of Maniac. It's kind of covered a little bit, but you could tell it's there. And also in here there is a how to use the I Lived app. And what you do is you can interact by scanning this thing in here and with your phone, and you can interact with the film using your phone. And the app syncs up with the film's dialogue and sends cues to the viewer's phone at selected moments throughout the film. So I didn't do that, but like that's actually a pretty cool thing that you can do. There's some funny moments in this movie as well. Kind of like, doesn't take you out of the element, but kind of makes you feel like everything's innocent and everything's going good. And I really enjoyed it. I actually really liked this one. And this comes out August 11th of this year, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, next up I have from Wild Eye Releasing, I have Jurassic Prey. This was a fun, low-budget movie. It's about this bunch of guys. They used to be on a TV show back in the day, and they don't really have any money in that, so they decide to rob a bank. And the robbery goes, they botched it up, and along the way they kind of hijacked this car with this girl, and she ends up having her own story, in the beginning of the movie that you see. And she takes them to this cabin where she was supposed to meet up with this other guy. And what they don't know is that there was a mining explosion which released this dinosaur. And so this dinosaur is roaming around on this property, and they don't know about it. So not only do they have to hide from the cops in this, remote cabin, but they also have to try and survive from this dinosaur that's released nowadays. I'm not sure what kind of dinosaur it is. They say it in the movie what it is. It's not a T-Rex. It's a different kind of dinosaur, but really cool. There's some CGI to the dinosaur, but there's also the practical parts with the head and like eating and that. It's not to be taken seriously. I thought it was fun. There's also some special features on here. There's director's commentary, and there's a behind-the-scenes featurette and some trailers. And the behind-the-scenes featurette, the director talks about where he got the idea for this, and he like was inspired by like older movies back in the day with like the stop motion, and it's really actually nice informative behind the scenes. So I would say this is a fun watch, you know, if you're not going to take things too seriously. Jurassic Prey from Wild Eye Releasing. Next up, from Arrow Films USA and MVD Entertainment, I have Contamination here on Blu-ray. This is an Italian horror sci-fi movie from director Luigi Cozzi, if I say that right. He did Star Crash and Hercules. Also has Italian horror veteran Ian McCulloch, who was in Zombie, you know, known for Zombie. And this is it's supposed to be a movie about there's a ship coming in, and it's not stopping. They're afraid it's going to slam into like New York City. And when they get on board of it, they find all these like green pulsating like eggs. They look like eggs. They kind of look like footballs, but they're like eggs. And they go on the ship and they find them. And what happens is one of them like explodes and like ends up killing a few people. Like they kind of like blow up from the inside out. So they're trying to study these eggs, and they're you don't know when they're going to blow up and everything. And here they're trying to track down throughout the movie where these eggs are coming from and what's the purpose of them. And they say it's like a influence from Ripley Scott's Alien or Aliens, but I really don't see that. I mean, I get it with the eggs because in the first Alien there was the eggs, but I really don't see that with this movie. That's really the only thing that I see compared to that, you know, at least was influenced maybe by it. I thought this movie was okay. The music in here is from Goblin, who did like they're Italian punk rockers from Deep Red and Suspiria, just to name a few. But this is chock full of like special edition contents. Like it tells you the restoration on here, and there's interviews, there's behind the scene interviews, and there's talking to the keyboardist from Goblin nowadays is on here, and he's talking about the music of the movie and the sound that these eggs make. It's like a really like weird sound. I'm not going to do it obviously, but it's very interesting, and it's like you don't, when they're doing that, you don't know when they're going to blow up. And it was practical effects. They were done pretty good. I really enjoyed those. The chest bursting and everything. Really, really cool. Really enjoyed that. Also, this is a slipcover. It's a really, really nice slipcover. Very glossy. And then you got the regular one in here. And inside, you got, actually the discs are really cool looking. You got like the alien eye there. And then there's the egg on the other one. And then you get a booklet that tells you all about the movie and everything. And then on the other side of the cover is the original cover, which isn't too bad. I like the original cover, but I really think the newer one pops more. I never actually heard of this movie until now, and it was a fun watch. I gotta say, it's probably worth checking out. Alright, now so last up I have from RLJ Entertainment. This is The Cobbler. This is actually also on Netflix, and it's also available to buy now. It's been out for a little while. But this is an Adam Sandler movie. It's one of his newest ones. Not the newest one, but it's one of the newer ones. And what it is, he's like a shoe repairman. He's a cobbler, and he's in New York City in like a Jewish neighborhood, and he just fixes people's shoes. It's what his father did. It's what his great-grandfather did. You know, his grandfather's great-grandfather did. His whole family. His whole, like, I think he's like the 5th generation, I want to say. So he's fixing the shoes, and one of the customers that comes in is really pushy. He's asking, he wants these shoes by this time tonight, and like he's like, well, I close up at this time. He's like, you'll be here. And so when he's starting to fix the shoes, his machine that he usually uses breaks. So he goes down to the basement and finds this older machine that his dad used to use, and his dad showed him a long time ago about it and how to use it. So he starts fixing the shoes there, and he notices they're 10.5s, and he's waiting around for this guy to show up, and he never shows up. So he decides to put on his shoes, and when he puts on his shoes, wouldn't you know it, he looks in the mirror and he's that person that owns the shoes. So and he's like, he thinks that, you know, oh my god, what happened? So he gets out of the shoes, and he gets back in them, and here he gets in other people's shoes and it's not working. He's like wondering why, and he's only getting in size 10.5 because that's what he wears. And then it dawns on him, it's the machine, because the machine did it. So he starts repairing all these old shoes that, like, I guess people either didn't care about, they didn't fix, or didn't come back to get. And he starts slipping in them to see who they are. And even one of them is a dead guy, and so he looks like a zombie. It's actually really funny. And the whole time this is going on, like, his neighborhood is like getting shut down, like business by business, and you know, people are getting paid off, and there's this one woman who is, you know, taking everybody down and giving them money to move out. And there's one apartment building that there's this old man, he's the only one living in anymore, everybody else moved out, and there's a girl that wants him, the cobbler, to sign a paper, come to a rally and everything for it and everything. So he decides to get the idea of trying to help out this building however he can, and that's where the cobbling, I don't know what the plural of that would be. That's where it came into play. And I gotta say, Adam Sandler is really a hit or miss kind of guy when it comes to his movies. I actually didn't mind this one. It wasn't like it wasn't comedy. There was some funny moments in it, but it wasn't like, it was more serious, and it was actually a decent story. And I could see there being another one to this maybe, but I'd say this one for an Adam Sandler movie, I thought it was actually really good. I enjoyed it. I sat through the whole thing, you know, didn't get bored with it. So yeah, I think The Cobbler is probably actually worth a watch, especially if you're on the, you know, fence about Adam Sandler anymore. Like, I don't want to watch Adam Sandler, he doesn't do anything good. Like, but this one I actually really enjoyed. I think this was a good movie, and kind of heartwarming movie too, in a way. You'll understand if you see the movie. So yeah, The Cobbler, and you can watch it now on Netflix, and it's also available to buy in various stores. So that's it, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button below. Thank you very much. Talk to you later. Bye.